Good morning, everyone. Very happy to see on Sunday for the Dharma class. As I mentioned many times, also whenever you attend any kinds of Dharma teaching, all the masters and teachers and guru always request us to set up or generate the proper motivation from the both sides. The teacher, the guru, the master who teach Dharma, he or she must have a pure motivation. The student or attendants all must have a very pure motivation. From the teacher side, the teacher must think, I teach the Dharma, I teach Dharma class to the attendants or students to just only benefit for them. The teacher, gurus, master, they should not think I'm teaching the class, teaching Dharma or earning like a money, having position, having name and fame. Just think benefit for the students. The student also must have a pure motivation, which is, I'm going to attend the Dharma class. I will study the Dharma. I will practice Dharma only for achieving liberation. Liberate myself, will liberate other sentient beings. So today, every day when we have a class, every time when we have a class, we must have pure motivation. And all of you are no more beginner. You are already intermediate Dharma class. Some of you are, I think, already attend Dharma class for many years, quite advanced students. Then as a intermediate students, as a B, the advanced student, actually you have, I think, more than enough knowledge, more than enough, simply say enough information how to practice Dharma. The practicing Dharma, studying Dharma, and only one. They have only just one aim. How to overcome, how to free me and sentient beings from the negative thoughts, the negative minds, the negative emotion. So this is, the purpose Buddha teach the Dharma. Therefore, the Dharma only we can use, we can apply to reduce, to overcome, to eliminate all the gross and subtle, very subtlest kinds of the negative thoughts. The basis reason is here. When we analyze ourselves, when we look at others, the rest of the human beings, sentient beings, each of them, every moment they are seeking happiness. Every moment, they are trying to overcome, try to free from suffering. This is, I think, equal to all sentient beings, particularly all human beings. If we don't want suffering, then we need to realize what are the causes to have the sufferings. If you seriously want to achieve the ultimate happiness, everlasting happiness, also we need to realize what are the actual causes and conditions for achieving ultimate and everlasting happiness. Therefore, at the beginning of the Precious Garland, they explain the two important causes. One, how to continuously born into higher realms, like a human and devas realms. The second is explain what is the most important, cause to achieve liberation or Buddhahood. The goodness, the ultimate goodness. As a human being, particularly, all of you are very educated person. You have known so many things. So we have the ability to have both of the cause to achieve continuously higher realms and the liberation. The rest of the, like a sentient being, like a hell being, hungry beings, animals, also even the men, like other, within the animals, there are so many different kinds of, different types of creatures. They have only ability or capacity to know how to survive, how to overcome the immediate kind of, fears, immediate difficulties. They never think how I can be happy after 10 or 20 or 30 or 60, 100 years. Also, they never put effort to overcome, all the difficulties after 10, 20, 100 years. They just always, focus on how to overcome the immediate, the instant, kind of problems. So therefore, first we always very much, rejoice, be so happy to be human, to have the capacity to can think, far away, can think from 100, thousands, millions. We can think, beyond, many eons. So we have the capacity, can think about, how I can be happy for millions of years. The second, we just appreciate our own capacity, ability. Most of the time, we human beings nowadays, particularly nowadays, sometimes we cannot see we are, big differences, different from the hell being, hungry beings, animals. When we watch the National Geographic, animal plants, all the animals, they are very good in how to survive, how to produce their next generation, how to protect their like generation, their children and baby. Also, they are very good how to protect from the enemies. Also, they are very good how to collect the food and shelter for them. So from that basis, we cannot see we are really different from animal. If we've been like this for in this life, then we really wasting the important ability which is we have, the very important capacity we have, all the potentiality all the capacity, all the energy we just use for only for the survival cause, only protect your family. We just collect things for only this life. We should not. Therefore, at the beginning, the two causes explained in the precious Garland. Therefore, first, few moments, we just reflect on the actual cause to continuously born into higher realms like a human and deva, and reflect on the 10 virtuous actions. And second, also, we must reflect on the non-10, non-10 virtuous actions. At the same time, we must reflect on the consequence of each of the 10 non-virtuous actions. The next, we need to think seriously. If we should not think that and those people, we should think if I perform, engage with the 10 non-virtuous action, I can have the true results, true effects. One, the immediate consequences. Second is the long-term or after many years consequences. For example, killing any sentient being, particularly killing human. The immediate consequence we can imagine. You have a plan to make kill a human. So you have to do a lot of preparation, mentally, physically. While you do that preparation, you have so many worry. You feel so scary, worry. Then you feel very unhappy. When you actually kill the person, then you feel very scary. You are actually having the immediate consequence of killing. After you killed any human being, for the short time you feel relief. Oh, I killed my enemy. He or she really harmed me for many years. Immediately you feel big relief. But you have a very short-sighted. But we never think what happened next, what come next. Then, according to the laws and rules and regulations, at the end of, we have to imprison. If you are a very powerful person, you have a lot of a supporter. You cannot be in the jail, but you always feel insecure. Someone will kill me. the relative who killed the person, you will feel. So this is immediate suffering we have in this life. Then next life. So if you killed, if you are born as a human, you can have a short life. Your life will be very short. You have a very unhealthy life. Also, you feel very insecure. Then, generally, due to the killing action, then we go into lower realms. So each of the negative, action, 10 non-virtuous action has an immediate consequence and the long-term consequence. If we don't want suffering, then we really need to stop, engage into 10 non-virtuous action. If you really want happiness in this life, after this life, after next life, then we really need to engage only the virtuous actions, particularly 10 virtuous action. The 10 virtuous action also have a same, the immediate, consequence or benefits, and the long-term consequences and benefits. For example, not killing. For example, you have a fighting with someone, you have an argument with someone, then you have a so strong anger. Due to the anger, then you in the deep down, you really hate the person. You really, really don't like the person. Then you are thinking, when I have a chance, I will take action. Kill, harm, bully. Then suddenly you thought, oh, actually, I'm a Buddhist. My actions, killing action is against with the Buddha teaching. Not is against with the Buddha teaching, it's against with the human kind of, like a culture. Then you restrain your thoughts for killing, then you generate compassion, love, tolerance towards your enemy. Immediately you feel very calm, peace, happiness. So next time when you actually see the person, see your enemy, meet your enemy, there's no more sense of enemy anymore. You feel you are meeting, you are seeing one of your best friend. So if we talk about, these days many people talk about peace and happiness. They just verbally talk. All the people who has a power in politics, they just talk peace, harmonies, like a peace, harmonies, happiness. Actually, most of them are the cause to have, cause to have a non-peaceful, cause have a lot of fighting. So, if you really want happiness, practice the 10 virtuous action. You can have immediate consequences, then long term. Long term, so this now we need to know the logics in between. If I practice 10 virtuous action, I know this life I can be very happy. If you act negatively, short term you can get some benefits. For example, lying, stealing, killing, right? All the three, the verbal action, zun traumatic, or the four zun traumatic, the three verbal action. If you act, the three verbal action immediately, you can have some consequences, you have some benefits. But in the deep down, we ourselves feel very shameful. We ourselves feel regret. For example, I'm using me myself as example. I still, let's say, like $100 from someone. Immediately I feel happy. Oh, I have $100. You feel immediately happy. Then I went to the restaurant and ordered food. While I'm eating the food, I won't feel I'm really enjoy the food. You can have a kind of mixture emotion. Therefore, immediate and long. The long term, how we know, practicing for many years, the 10 virtual action, how I can be happy in next life. How we know? How we know? Because the people who has gone before us, who pass away, they were born into higher realm, someone born into lower realms. They cannot call us, they cannot text us, they cannot email us. How we know? Also, we cannot ask them. Then actually, how we can really believe? Then this question, answer for this question, next life and this life, it look like today and tomorrow. Today and tomorrow, this year and like next year in after next year. For example, today whole day, you always act, your action is only the wholesome action. You didn't have any argument, you are very happy with your family and friends and co-worker, neighbors, whole day you are happy. Evening when you go to bed, you feel very happy, peaceful. The whole sleeping, you sleep with a peaceful mind. Next morning when you woke up, you feel happiness. It's exactly the same. So whole life, the person being very negative person, very negative with, family, then friends, then neighbors, then who live around the person. The whole of the person being very negative, harm others. Then moment of the death, a person cannot feel, very much rejoice what he has done in the past. Cannot. Because it is, I think, for example, when the person is so strong and powerful, doing a lot of bad things, the person won't have a, let's say, regret. When the person physically become very weak, no more any power, then the person feel regret. When I was strong and healthy, I have a power. I have done all the nasty thing. Now I don't have a power. Then slowly the person have a lot of regret. Particularly moment of the death. The moment of the death. Somehow, moment of the death, many people, almost average people will realize, somehow I need this next life. I will go. Then have a very strong regret. Then they feel peaceful, angry what he have done in the past. The person have a so strong attachment, all the belongings. Then next life, the person fall into lower realms. Then all the suffering there. So the next life and this life exactly look like today and tomorrow. And this year and next year. If you, do well this years, you will do well in next life, next years. But in between, in next life, in some time, you can have some difficulties, some problem will arise, but you already know how to manage them. Right? This. Now the conclusion here, for the precious Garland, caused by the look like in the previous you talk about the virtues, particularly 10 virtues action, then the 10 non-virtuous action, wholesome and unwholesome action. The stanza number 19. Opposite to the well-known fruits of these non-virtues is the arising of effects caused by all the virtues. Then desire, hatred, ignorance, and the action they generate are non-virtues, non-desire, non-virtues. Now its conclusion, if you, in order to avoid the non-10 virtues action, so we need to focus on controlling desire, hatred, ignorance. If we have so many, strong desire about name, fame, property, material things, the person always feel, dissatisfaction. The person never satisfy what they have. Therefore, somehow we need to know the limited. For example, like a phone. Every year, many companies produce new phone. If we buy new phone every year, then you bought the new phone this year, also you are not happy. You are very excited. You are very excited for buying new phone next year. Somehow we need to control our desire, need to know the limit of the things. So in order to, stop to engaging into 10 non-virtuous action, we need to control our desire, hatred, ignorance. The action, they generate the non-virtues, right, is conclusion. Then the next one, non-desire, non-hatred, non-ignorance, and the action they generate are virtues. So desire generate non-virtues, non-desire generate the virtuous action. So how we should control our desire and attachment? How? Then the best antidote to control attachment and desire is meditate on impermanence, essenceless, limitless. When we meditate on impermanence, we can remember everything is changing momentarily. Then also we are going to remember I'm changing momentarily, and one day I need to leave this world. So there's no much point to have a strong desirement, extensive kind of desire and attachment to own so many things. Then moment of the death, again, many people have a serious problem, cannot die. The mind is half up. Non-attachment, non-desire can generate the virtues. The non-hatred. Here we need to know the order. First, there's attachment and desire. When there's an attachment, they're very easy to have anger. When we have a anger, then we have a hatred. For example, this is a simple mok, cup. When we give this cup for Singaporean, particular all of you, maybe it's nothing. You can throw away. If this cup we bring to, India, particular in the village, when we give it to the poor, very poor family, they are so happy to have this cup. I don't think they will use it. They will keep in the, in the box. Because they really didn't know the value of the cup. They thought it's a very valuable, it's a very important, so beautiful, so nice. Then they had the misperception, misunderstanding, all we can call ignorance. Based on the ignorance, the person has an attachment, so strongly attached their mind with the cup. Then somebody say, hey, this cup which is give you from a Singaporean is just second hand or a very old one. It's not really good cup. Then the person get very angry. Now can see ignorance, attachment, then anger. When the person very angry with the person who says this cup is no good, not expensive, it's simple cup. Then the person who owned the cup, the person really hate the person who say your cup is no good. Right? Therefore, non-desire, non-hatred, non-ignorance. Now, in order to control the attachment and anger, we need to control the main cause, which is ignorance. Again, yesterday we studied about entering in middle way. At the end is come to the emptiness and ignorance. Here again is come to the emptiness. From non-virtues come all sufferings, is again conclusion. And likewise, all bad transmigration. That means generally, if you engage into negative action, you have all the sufferings. Then you will go into the lower realms. For virtues, all happy transmigration and all pleasure of all life. Now again, many people say the choice of you. You want happiness, always perform positive action, wholesome action, virtuous action. Want happiness. If you don't want suffering, always happiness, then always engage into virtues and wholesome action. Now we can see the contradiction. Like an example, here many Singaporean, they really don't like the strong sun, walking in the hot weather. If you don't like the hot weather, you must protect from the hot weather. But people say, I don't like the hot weather, but the people freely, moving in the sun. There's a contradiction. Likewise, we always say, I want happiness, I want peace, I don't want suffering, I don't want problem, I don't want difficulties, I don't want to born into lower realms. Then, but our action is always non-wholesome action. This is contradiction. Here we need to remember what Shantideva said. We have the thoughts, we have the mind to eliminate the suffering. We have our thoughts, we have a mind in eliminating the suffering. But we always chasing after the causes and condition of the suffering. Is contradict. But we always want happiness, peace, pleasure, but we always destroy, the cause and condition to arise happiness is again contradiction. Therefore, we are Buddhists. We have to be very logical. We have to be very practical. Don't want suffering? Stop engaging into action. Number one, the action we already have accumulated in the past, before today. So we need to do certain particular practice to eliminate, to clean the negative action we already accumulated, that we won't accumulate in the future. So remember these two contradictions. From virtues, all happy transmigration, and the pleasure of all life. Descending from all non-virtues, and always engage in the virtues with body, speech, and mind. Therefore, we always control our body action, verbal action, the mental action. When you act physically, check before you must analyze. Remember in the previous set, all the action you perform before you need to analyze. Before you killed, you must analyze, is good or not? Is good for you or good for others? Analyze. Always engage in the virtues with body, speech. Also speech is very, sometimes the word is just very simple words. But you really, make many people unhappy. So we need to watch our verbal action. The physical action, the verbal action, everybody can seize, everybody can understand. The mental action, only we can understand. Therefore, particularly, we need to watch our mental actions. With body, speech, and mind, these are called the three forms of practice. The three actions go with the wholesome mind, is a positive action. The three actions go with the unwholesome mind, then the negatives. Very simple. Always watch your physical action, verbal action, mental action, particularly the mental action. You always need to watch. Remember in the adverses of the mind training said, all action you need to analyze your mind, because the mind can be very dangerous, cause you to have a lot of suffering. Through this practice, until the stanza 22, for me what I feel, stanza number 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 22 and 23 are the kind of conclusion of the 10 virtues action and the non-10 virtues action. Through this practice, the wholesome practice, one is free from becoming a hell being, hungry being. You don't need to say ghost. I don't know how it's come. Hungry beings or animal. Reborn as a human or God, or say devas, celestial being, one against. Extensive happiness, fortune, and dominant. That means if you always act with the wholesome action, next slide, we are free from the three lower realms. We always born into higher realms. The extensive happiness, immediately and long time. And fortune. Many people say, I am very fortunate and I have this happened. or I'm very fortunate, I have this, 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 and this. The fortune means positive action. Also, we can say you are very lucky. Or good lucky means you have a lot of lucks, mean you have a lot of wholesome action. And dominant, then you know, when you are born in human, you can really control, not the negative way. You can be, you know, the head of the village, head of the country, head of the world. Then you can lead your village, your family, your country into the desirable, you know, like a destination. So conclusion. Then stanza number 25 is the detailed explanation from the stanza number 4. Higher status is considered to be happiness. Definite goodness is liberation. The continence of the mean is briefly faith in wisdom. Due to having faith, one relies on the practice. Due to having wisdom, one truly knows. Of these two, the wisdom is chief. The faith is the prerequisite. Now, detailed explanation about the chief, which is the wisdom. Remember, non-attachment, non-desire, non-anger, non-anger, right? Yeah, non-anger. Now we move to stanza number 25. The doctrine of definite goodness are said by the conquerors to be deep, subtle, and fattening to the childish, who are not learned. The doctrine means the practice or the means of the definite goodness are said by conquerors to be deep, not easy to understand, meaning of emptiness, meaning of selflessness, and subtle, mean it's a very deep, also very difficult to realize. It's so subtle, difficult to realize, therefore subtle. Fattening mean when you hear, when you think about selflessness, no self, emptiness, then suddenly you feel, how come I'm not exist? Because we are not learned. To the childish who are not learned. Then the opposite, we can say, the doctrine of definite goodness are said by the conquerors to be deep, subtle, and not fattening to the wise who are learned. That means it looks like, you know, a voice come from, you know, like say, a space. For example, right now we are, you know, having class. Suddenly there's a voice come from space, from the sky. Today, all of you are going to die. When you hear the voice, some people feel very happy. Some people feel very upset. The people who always perform the virtuous action, the people feel so happy. I'm dying, I have another happy, healthy, better life. The people who always, you know, most time engage into negative action, the people feel upset, scary, fattening. After I die, I go into lower realms. Going lower realms and higher realms based on virtues, not virtuous action, we should not think it look like telling a story. telling a story. It's just, it's nothing there. We should not think. It's not enough to say we should not think, but there's a lot of logics and reasoning. I said, if you are very happy in the morning, mostly you are happy in the afternoon. If you are very happy in the afternoon, you are mostly happy in the evening. In between some problem come, you can manage. You are happy today, you are happy tomorrow. You are happy this year, you will be happy in next years. It's a logic. Then, the virtues and virtue, we say virtues, non-virtues, wholesome, unwholesome. Mean when you act, you feel happy. Also, you can see other people, feel happy. Mean it's good, virtuous, wholesome. When you act verbally, mentally, or physically, when you feel you yourself feel very unhappy, is non-virtuous, unwholesome, no good. Also, other people can feel unhappiness. Therefore, this stanza said too deep, too subtle, and too fattening, whom to the childish who are not learned. So the meaning of emptiness is so subtle, so deep, not easy to understand, but somehow we need to know, we need to learn. For example, I'm giving example, using example, energy is quite easy. For example, somebody has serious disease. The doctor said, oh, it's very serious. You need to go through big operation. Then we suddenly feel scared. Then second, what we think, if I don't go through this, serious operation, I will have more suffering. I will have more problem. So I must, go through the immediate operation. It's very scary. Also, we never know the result. The operation go well or not, we never know, but we feel so scared. We think, oh, I'm very scared, I don't want to go. Then long term, we have a more problem. Exactly same. The meaning of emptiness, selflessness. The term is very scary. Say, no self. Emptiness may look like there's nothing. Then you feel scared, how come I'm not exist? My family are not exist. There's no house, there's nothing. Then you feel scared. Because you are not learned person. So whether we like or don't like, we need to know. We have to realize selflessness, emptiness. Otherwise, we cannot control our desire, anger, hatred. Then all the unwholesome action will, generate continuously. Then we will be suffer forever. Forever. Therefore, we need to know. It's scary, frightening, but we need to know. Then stanza number 26. I am not, I will not be. I have not, I will not have. That fattens all childish and extinguish fear in the wise. I am not, right? So now in Tibetan, what? Let's say is that I am not mean I'm not exist. I am not be mean I'm, no, the I am not exist now, I won't be exist next or future. I'm not exist now, I won't be exist in the future. Is no right. The mind, you mean you. Is not exist now, won't exist. Then the second is, I have not. You mean the key, you mean Mingyuji. Then second we say I, right? The second we say my family, my house, my cars, my friends. If you are not exist, then how come you have something which belongs to you? Okay. Also, you won't have, you won't belongs anything. You don't have any belonging, you won't have any belongings. That frightens all childish and extinguish fear in wise. So when we hear this word, then we feel scared. The wise, the learned person, they feel happy. They feel happiness. Now what does mean I am not, I will not be? What does mean? Now here we need to analyze. We should not, watch outside. We should not pick on this person, that person, those people. We pick on ourselves. We pawn ourselves. Right now, everybody watch yourself. Mean you think, am I exist or not? Right? Of course, we are exist. So we are, studying Dharma. We are studying precious Garland. Nagarjuna was exist. His status are exist. I am exist. How we can say I am not, I will not be? Mean, if I ask you, are you existent? Everybody say, yes, I am existent. I exist in my home, in my room. Now you analyze where you are exist. Yes, you can say in my room, on my, like a cushion, on my bed, on chair. Still you analyze where you exist in within your, part of the body. Are you exist or on your lower body, in the middle, in the upper, in the head? In the head. Please analyze. Yes, after we analyze our, ourselves, or me and I, I don't think I exist in my lower body, because this is my leg, this is my lap. We say this is my. These belongs to me. These are not me, right? Then are you exist in the middle of your body? No, I'm not. This inside, this is my heart. These are my lungs. These are my abdomen, my kidney, all of them. Those are not me. Those are my belonging. Then are you exist in your head? Again, no, this is my head. This belongs to me. The belonging is not me. Are you in your head? No. Now you can see we are not exist anywhere. Still, we exist. Then without your lap, can I be exist or not? Without my like a body, there's no me. Without my minds, they are not me. How? When somebody touch your shoulder, somebody touch your shoulder, what we going to say? Oh, you touch me. That you touch me. You are not happy. But often we can see look like contradiction. My shoulder is not me. Your shoulder is not you. When somebody touch your shoulder, you say, you touch me. How come? When somebody touch your car, you say, oh, you touch my car. You never say, you touch me. Somebody bang your like a door. You say, oh, you bang my door. You never say, you bang me. How come? Therefore, we are exist. My body are not me. Without my body, I cannot be, exist. Now we analyze about our minds. We say, this is my anger. This is my attachment. This is my compassion. I'm very, intelligent because you have the intelligent mind. I'm very compassionate person because you have a great compassion. But compassion is not you. You are not compassion. You are not, the wisdom not you, but still you say, when you have a wisdom, you say, I'm very intelligent. You are not all the minds. All the minds are not you, but without the minds, you cannot exist. We cannot say I'm exist. That means what the word saying, I'm not be, mean you is not saying I'm not exist. I'm not exist independently. Also I won't be exist independently. I'm exist based on my 5 aggregates, not based on my house and car. Okay, here, if you understand why my explanation, you just follow how I explain. If you don't understand, simply you just verbally can say, I'm exist only depend on my 5 aggregates. Form, feeling. Now we analyze, about the feeling and me. What is the connection? When we sit in the pleasant place, we say, I'm very happy. I'm very happy. How I can say, when you sit in the very pleasant place, you say, I'm very happy. Because when we live in the pleasant place, we have the pleasant feeling. We have happy feeling. The happy feeling, the pleasant feeling is not me, but we say, I am happy because due to the pleasant feeling. The pleasant feeling is not you. You are not the pleasant feeling, but without the pleasant feeling, you cannot be happy. Then when you go into unpleasant place, going with a very unpleasant person, you say, I'm not happy. Again, the unpleasant feeling is not you. You are not the unpleasant feeling. Without the unpleasant feeling, you cannot be unhappy person. Therefore, I exist depends on the feeling. Then, I think rest of the the three aggregates. You do the same analysis. What Buddha Shakyamuni actually introduced us, he said, "You exist. All sentient beings exist, but they not exist independently. They not exist the what you call the substantially kind of existent. You are not, but your exist merely designated based on the five aggregates. Therefore, I am not, I will not be." Right? Then second one, I haven't, I will not have. If there's not independent I, independent me, then the things cannot be belongs to the independent I. The independent I cannot belongs anything. Therefore, I have not, I won't have. That means there's no independent I. Therefore, nothing's belongs to the independent I. There's no independent I. Nothing will belongs to the independent I. But you are, then you can say opposite. I am, I will be, I have, I will have. Mean I am merely designated person. I am. I'm not independent I, but I am merely designated I. I won't be independent person, but I will be only designated person, merely designated person based on the five aggregates. I have not the independent me. I don't have anything, nothing belongs to me, but things belongs to me. The me is merely designated. I will have, I won't have mean the independent I won't have anything, but the merely designated person have everything, right? So then extinguish fear in the wise. This means the person who don't understand the actual meaning of selflessness and emptiness feel fears. The person who understood the meaning of selflessness and emptiness, the person feel happiness. So please memorize this stanza number 25, 26. I am not, I will not be. I have not, I will not have. The frightens all the childish, and the extinguishing fear in the wise. The wise don't have any sense of fears. By him who speak only to help beings, it was said that by him who speak only to helping beings. So the Buddha taught, for example, first time Four Noble Truth, impermanence, suffering, then emptiness, selflessness. He taught, he wished all sentient beings free from suffering. He wished all sentient beings always be happy. Therefore, wish all sentient beings realize selflessness and emptiness. Therefore, here, by him who speak only true help beings, it was said that all beings have arisen from the conception of I and are enveloped with the conception of mine. That means all the suffering arise from the misunderstanding of I, misperception of I. That means we all human beings totally enveloped with the conception of my, me and my, right? So this, the meaning is very important. We seriously need to analyze, seriously need to study. Now I will make a simple conclusion again. You think I am exists, but not exists independently. There's no independent I. There's no permanent I. There's no unity I. There's no singleness I, me. So you think your name, my name is Yonten. Yonten is not exist independently. It depends on the 5 aggregates. Yonten is not permanent. There's no permanent Yonten. Yonten is impermanent because it is arise, exists, depend on the actual cause condition. Therefore, Yonten is impermanent. If there's no permanent and Yonten is impermanent, then Yonten cannot be independent. It depends on cause, depend on the basis, which is 5 aggregates. Then Yonten won't be independent. In the future, Yonten won't be independent, must depend on continuously 5 aggregates. Yonten won't be impermanent, won't be permanent, always being impermanence. Therefore, there's no independent me, independent I, independent Yonten. Therefore, nothing belongs to independent Yonten. Nothing belongs to permanent Yonten. Everything I belongs to me belongs to the Yonten, which is merely designated. Then why we need to know that, emptiness of I, emptiness of me, due to having the misunderstanding I, then when we say this is mine, also we have a misunderstanding about I, which is, I say, is belongs to me. Then attachment, anger, everything arises. Then all the suffering arises. So we are totally enveloped in the sense of I and me. By him who speak only true have beings, it was said that all beings have arisen from the conception of I and are enveloped with the conception of mind. The second, then the 28, stanza number 28, that I exist, the mind exists, they are wrong as ultimate. If you believe I, they should not say I, the independent I exists, the independent mind not refer to the belongings, okay? Please listen very carefully. I mean, for example, I am a monk, I am mother, I am man, I am woman. That time when we say I'm a monk, that time there's an I. This I not, related to things belong to the I, just say I. This is I. I am a monk, I'm a woman, I'm a teacher, whatever, I. Then second, when we say, this is mine, this is my car, this is my children, this is my house. When you say, this is my, that time there's another kinds of I, which is possess thing to the I. My mean the I, which is possessed thing, is same. I, mind, both is person, a being, or I. The I exists, the mind exists. They are wrong as ultimate. Mean the independent I, the independent mind. If you have this idea, is a wrong idea, because when you analyze, there's no such as I is not there. For the true are not established by through consciousness of reality just as it is. So now there's only, like kind of one possibility. Yeah, we know I is there. We cannot say I am not exist. Nobody will say, right? If I exist, we have only one option. Exist independently or dependently. Independently, dependently. If you believe I am exist independently, then when you analyze my body, my mind, my feeling, then you can see there's a contradiction. Therefore, I am not exist in a independently, because we know after analyzing, I'm very much dependent on my five organs. It is impossible that I is independent as well. Cannot. It is impossible. One thing can be permanent, can be impermanent as well. Cannot. It is impossible. We should contradict. So through study, then we slowly will gradually, I say gradually, we can, I'm going to realize emptiness of I, selfless of I. We must. So another important, or things we Tibetan, what Buddha said, or all the Tibetan master says, whatever Buddha taught, what teaching he taught, mainly only one reason. The reason is to realize emptiness, to realize selflessness. This is the main kind of achievement Buddha wished to achieve. Wish all sentient beings will realize emptiness, selflessness. The rest of the teachings, comes kind of methods to realize emptiness and selflessness. Therefore, in many Buddha Tibetan, like a teaching, Tibetan language, many teachings said, whatever Buddha taught, all the teaching, directly, indirectly, focus on realizing emptiness. Okay, now we as a L113. Is there any question? We can have a Q&A. Then today we do dedication based on the precious Garland. There's a 20 stanza. Okay, we can have a Q&A, then we'll do the dedication.
Dharma brothers and sisters, if you have any questions, feel free to raise your hand or type in the chat window. Anyone?
Okay, if there's no any question, so I will talk a little bit more about, having the faith, then having the wisdom, which realize emptiness. It looked like, the parents, looking after a baby, raising up their children all the way to university. This is the example. Parent raising up children from baby stage, then the teenager, then the adult, then all the way to university, then having big family. So right now, let's say we are look like just newborn baby. So when we are very, a newborn baby, the parent very much focus, care about the healthy body. Make sure the child doesn't have any disease, sickness. If you notice the child have some kind of sickness, immediately you see doctor, let the baby free from sickness. The child is, the newborn baby is a very fragile. He or she doesn't know much. If the parent try to teach like science, history, things, first the children don't understand. I don't think the children will listen. If the baby, going to listen, but the baby don't understand anything. Therefore, that stage, the parent very much care about healthy baby, about their health. Therefore, first our daily practice, first we need to focus on the virtuous action. Do the best virtuous action in our daily life. Like a parent care the child health, not the education. If we notice that the parent notice the child has sudden kind of sickness, immediately see doctor, stop to grow the sickness. Exactly. So in our daily life, we notice, oh, this morning, yesterday, I have a negative action. Immediately, we need to apply the antidotes to stop, to eliminate the negative actions. When the child, become teenager, then the parent no need to care much about the health issue. The child is very healthy. If you raise up with a good environment, you provide the proper food and the medicine or vitamin. When the child become adult, the parent very much focus on education. Same thing now, we are look like adult or teenager. So we not need to focus much about only accumulating positive action, purifying negative action. We need to focus on knowledge. The knowledge, the wisdom which realized emptiness. That means during the childhood, parent care our health, adult care the education, then our life is already okay. We are very healthy. We have the knowledge, we have the education. We need to finish university. Through practicing the 10 virtuous action, the wisdom, bodhicitta, 6 perfections, the one day you graduate, the one day we become a Buddha. So becoming Buddha is not just our aim. Our main aim is benefit others after becoming Buddha. Exactly the same, the parents, rest of the child, finish education, and the parent wish, the child can marry, and have a family, and he can look after his own families. Therefore, practicing 10 virtuous action, not engaging into practicing 10 virtuous action, not engaging into non-10 virtuous action, look like raising of the child for mainly care the health. Becoming teenager, the parent very much focus or force the child to study. Now we ourselves very much force ourselves to study about emptiness and selflessness with the compassion and bodhicitta. Then after the child finish university and have a job, parent ask him or her to get married, have a big family and look after family. You yourself will enjoy your life, also look after your family. Exactly same, after we become Buddha, we are totally free from suffering, happiness. We are very much happy. Also at the same time, we look, all the Buddhas, looks after all sentient beings. This is the analogy. Okay, Sonam, do you have the soft copy?
Before that, Geshe-la, I have few questions coming in. Yeah, earlier on you mentioned about killing is a sin. So if a soldier were to kill someone in war, does this mean he committed a sin while protecting his or her country?
This one, I think we are just thinking, how the world is look like now. In the past, there's no kind of boundary. All people is moving all over. There's no boundary. People are very equal. Asian people can move Europe, and therefore you can see, from Asia, from African, all the slowly people move to Asia, then move to like Europe, then move to America. Everybody is moving very freely. This whole planet belongs to everybody. Human being, other sentient beings. There's no boundary. Then slowly people become greedy. Also, we don't know who really name like Asia, Europe, America, this thing. Asia is not just one kind of big country. Then there are so many different cultures, different language, different traditions, so totally different, so many different things. Then slowly people have a greedy. Then, oh, this land belongs to me. This land belongs to you. I need bigger land than you. And other people say, no, I want bigger. Then there's a fighting. Then, in order to solve the problem, traditionally they appointed a king. Oh, among the people, oh, you're the best to, make a judge, make a rule. Then we have a king. Then there's slowly we have a nation. Then in order to protect the country, the border, then we have a soldier. The soldier, killing enemy in order to protect their own country, it is a virtuous or non-virtuous. It's wholesome, unwholesome. That means, for example, you got a hole in your cheek, right? It's cheek, right? Cheek. You have a hole. You want to solve this. You want to fix the hole. Then what happens? You cut piece of your air. You fix this problem. Then the people can see you are such a beautiful. You fix the hole, cut your piece of your air. You're still ugly. It's true. So you protect your country. You kill many people in next to your country, your nation. In the reality, everybody feel happy. Nowadays, you can see, that the big, fighting or war between Russia and Ukraine. How many houses and hospital and house is destroyed? How many people died? But other people feel very proud. We have a powerful army, weapon. We destroy this country, kill these people. We just look in both sides. We should not take any stand. Look in between. Do you think it's the right thing doing? Therefore, even though you are a soldier, you are protecting your country, killing, you are definitely accumulating negative action. But this is the who care the positive and negative action. They care, they are greedy. Fulfill their greedy, okay. Yes, it's quite sinful to say, killing other, whether you are a soldier. Also, then what happened? I want to protect me. It's okay, I kill other. I want to protect myself. I need protection. Nobody protect me, I will kill my enemy. Then also, do you think I'm doing right? No. Then, like country level, nation level is same thing. But somehow, this kind of situation, not easy to change. In the future, look like going to be more worse and worse. Therefore, His Holiness said, all the problems we have between, the national level, country level, family-wise, friends, all the problem we have the responsibility. We have the responsibility. We create the problem. So in order to solve the problem, in order to have a peaceful country, peaceful nation, peace and full everywhere, we need to transform our thoughts. Otherwise, it doesn't matter how many powerful weapons we have, how many soldiers and police and guard and army we have. We cannot protect our country. They cannot protect their country. At the end, both countries going to, disappear. One day, the whole planet's going to burn, finish. But not easy to change. But if everybody wants to change, we can change. We can have a better world. But greedy is so strong. Let's say in Singapore, everybody wants to be equal. Everybody wishes to have a same house, same job, same money, same power. Average people wants, but there are so many people don't want to have this kind of situation. Then they say, oh, how come I can be poor? Because the greedy, attachment, desire, hatred. Yeah. Next question, please.
Yeah, I think it's a follow-up question from Lim. How about the Ukrainian protecting their country, and in the process they kill the Russian?
It's same thing. Russian soldier protecting their country, killing Ukraine. They thought it's right way, right things. The other same thing, the Ukraine soldier and people think they're killing the Russian soldier in destroying the Russian armed things. They thought it's a right thing for them. In the reality, both is wrong. Wrong. This consequence is very small. For the long term, there's a more serious consequence will be there. Therefore, when we practice love and compassion, all sentient beings be happy, have a cause of happiness. All sentient beings free from suffering and cause of suffering. This is wonderful. Also, we try, it can be very practical. But many people think, how come all sentient beings cannot be happy? All human beings cannot be happy? Because we not really seriously trying to be all sentient beings be happy. The same thing, whether you kill Russian kill Ukraine, is same thing.
Yeah.
Which question?
Yeah. Geshe, which is better in future lives? Is it pure lands or human reincarnation?
It depends on individual. For example, one of the Panchen Lama in Tibet, one of the Lama who has a very high reputation. So at the age of almost 60 or 70, he established the Geshe Lobsang Monastery, one of the big monastery. Sorry, that mistake. Then, so he was almost 90 plus. Then one day, I think he was discussing with the assistant or disciples. He said, oh, now I think this year I'm going to die. Yeah. Then the disciple says, oh, now you are very much ready to, very much ready to go to Pure Land. You will go Pure Land. Then he said, I never have a motivation, I never have a thought to go to Pure Land. I always wish to remain in this world to benefit, those worldly sentient beings. It depends. So if you think, oh, this lifetime, my compassion, my patience are quite weak, very fragile, very easy to destroy by anger and self-centered attitudes. Next life also, I will have a same thing. Then say, it's better to go to Pure Land. Then Dalai Lama said, His Holiness one time, many people pray, doing the Pure Land practice. Make sure those persons won't have the self-centered attitudes. If somebody asks, why you want to go to Pure Land? Oh, Pure Land is very peaceful, very happy. I want to go there. I mean, you are selfish. You are self-centered. You have self-attitude. You must say, in this world, there are so many obstacles to practicing bodhicitta, compassion, love, tolerance, six perfection. For the time being, I go in Pure Land, do the proper practice, and be a bodhisattva, then come back to this world is right. For example, many monks, when they do serious practice meditation, they go to retreat. They don't stay in monastery even. They go in the mountain. Look like selfish. But he or she know, living in monastery, living in the village, there's a lot of obstacles. Practicing in the retreat in the isolation area, just one person, no attachment, no anger. Maybe there's a kind of sense of ego possible. Very easy to practice, very easy to develop all the parts. Therefore, look at Milarepa. Most time, his life totally spent in the retreat, isolation from the people. When he became a Buddha, then he come in public, give a teaching. Also, Telopa, Naropa, Lama Tsongkhapa, also at the beginning, he was very much focused on studying, giving teaching. Then one day he just went with the 8 disciples for long retreat. So it depends on person. We cannot say, oh, going Pure Land good, born in human is good. It depends on individual. Am I right? Okay. So any question we can take next time. So I don't think we have a time to recite all the 20 verses. We will, Sonam, please prepare the dedication prayers.
Which stanza, Geshe-la?
Stanza number 466.
466. Okay.
All the way 487.
466 to 487.
Because here, what Nagarjuna said, therefore, in the presence of the image or monument of the something else, say this 20 stanza 3 times every day. But we cannot recite 3 times, we recite once a week. So when, and also, everybody please read from stanza number 46 to 487, 466, 487. We just read all the stanza, then you can see the dedication, how Nagarjuna dedicate. So we must dedicate as how Nagarjuna did dedication. Okay, thank you so much, all of you attending the Sunday class. I miss you, really confused Saturday, Sunday class. Have a happy Sunday. As I mentioned yesterday, realizing emptiness is so important. In order to realize emptiness, we need enough positive energy, positive action. Therefore, whatever merit we have accumulated this morning, first we dedicate for realizing emptiness, selflessness, then we will be Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. Second, we dedicate all the merit to benefit all sentient beings, particularly for your families and friends or for yourself. Therefore, you can say first sentient being is important. Then, secondly, you can focus. You can dedicate for your friends and family. Then the last, in order to all sentient being happy and healthy and harmonious, we need peace in Singapore, Malaysia, Thailand, the rest of the world. Whole world is very chaotic, lot of fighting, lot of killing, lot of problem. Then all human beings feel very difficult. Therefore, last we dedicate the all merit for peace. And all the country have a peace, particularly Russia and Ukraine. Therefore, you can see the order. First, the whole world must be peace. Then all sentient beings, generally, short term be happy. Then long term, be happy. I want to be Buddha. Okay, please dedicate all the merit to benefit. Dedicate for world peace at each of the countries, particularly Russia and Ukraine. Jamba Bhavya Chitara Kembo, no, Gundo Zambo Deyan Dejan. Deda Gunje Jesu Dalojen Gewa Deda Tamje Radu. Duzun Shebe Gawa Tamje Gemwa Kanla Chodo Ngapa. Dage Geve Zawan Dibun Ya Zambo Jeje Radu Ngwa. Donyi Tawa Rimboche Mahye Banam Jegyu. Gewa Nyamba Meba. Gondo Pelwar Show. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a happy Sunday. Thank you.